Hey guys, hope everyone is going well. Monday down, or nearly down for most of you, which means plenty of training time, back into training after race day over the weekend or even getting out on the bike. What I want to focus on today is why you shouldn't be training for race day, okay, which might sound a little bit ironic or the opposite of what you usually hear on our live stream, so I'm just going to go into that. We'll just wait a little bit for Facebook to do its thing, get a few people on here to be able to listen and take note. So the first thing that we want to be, or the first thing that I'm going to be focusing on is why you shouldn't be training for race day. Okay, now the reason that you shouldn't be training for race day, or the reason that you shouldn't be training for race day is if you don't have a why. Okay, and what I mean by a why is why are you training? Okay, I've spoken to a shit ton of racers today, and one of the common themes that I noticed that was coming up was that there was racers that didn't know why they were training. Okay, they struggled with consistency. They struggled with doing the same things over and over again. Okay, they struggled to be able to have a routine to build a habit because they didn't know why. Okay, give me a thumbs up, guys, if you're on the call. They struggled to know why. Okay, they didn't know why they were doing what they were doing. Now, the analogy that I use, I don't think I've used this on a live stream, but I was listening to something the other day, and this analogy came up, which was absolutely awesome for what I'm about to try and illustrate for you. Is think about Google Maps. Okay, so we all got Google Maps on our iPhone or your Samsung, whatever you have. It takes you to your destination, right? You plug in your destination, it gives you the shortest route. Now, if I told you to be able to come and find me exactly where I am now doing this live stream, and you had Google Maps, would you be able to find me? And the answer is no. Okay, not unless I gave you my address. So if I give you my address, I give you the destination, you can plug that in and you'll have the quickest route to be able to get from where you are to where you want to be. If we don't have that end destination, we don't have that end goal of where we want to be, we can't pave out the path to be able to get there. Okay, we can't pave out the quickest path. We're not going to have that drive, that determination, that line for where we want to go. And the same thing happens with your training. You need to make sure that you have a why. You know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, okay? Because if you don't have that goal in mind, you don't have where you want to be in the next 30 days, you don't have anything that you're striving for, that you're reaching for, you're not going to be able to get there. And even if you did get there, you wouldn't know because you didn't know what you were supposed to achieve. You didn't know what you'd set out to do. And that's going to be a problem with motivation, okay? There's no such thing as not having motivation, okay? Motivation comes when you have a big enough why, when you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Motivation is there, okay? It's not, so motivation isn't something you just wake up with and you have, or some people are born with and some people aren't. It's because you don't have a why, okay? And everyone's motivated just in different ways, okay? Sometimes you're motivated to go and train. Other people are motivated to not go and train, okay? But either way, it's still a form of motivation. It might not be the right motivation that you want. It might not be motivation for the right thing that you're hoping to achieve. But there's motivation there, okay? We just need to change where you're directing that motivation, and we get that motivation from having a why. You shouldn't have to have someone that's constantly checking up on you. Yes, you need support. You need people to be able to help you to help implement, okay? But you can't have someone else that's just about doing the work for you, because we want to build a long-term approach, and that comes from having a why, from having those 90-day goals, from having setting out the goal or the plan of where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. Because if you don't know where you want to go, you're not going to be able to get there. So when you have to get up at 5 o'clock on those early mornings before work, when you have to come home after a 12, 14-hour day at work and go and train, when you're not feeling well, okay, when you're injured, you get hurt, and that's affecting your training, when someone else in your family is having a hard time and you need to be able to put time aside for you to work on your training, then that all comes down to having those goals, okay? And when you have those goals in mind, when you have that vision of exactly what you want, you're able to get there. Okay, if we don't have that vision, we don't know what we're working towards, we're not able to get there, okay? Because we can't map out the path, we don't know what we need to do because we don't need to get there. Why would you get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, every morning, if you didn't know why you were doing it? For no reason, okay? Why would you go to bed, why would you go and train, be at the gym when it's dark, it's 7, 8 o'clock at night, when you don't know what you're actually working towards, okay? Why would you give up time, that time when you could be spending it with your family? Hey, Jackson.
Why would you give up that time when you could be spending it with your family, when you could be spending it writing, when you could be spending it on Facebook, on the computer, doing other stuff, okay? Anything else. Why is that a priority for you? Why is that the main thing that you want to focus on? And that comes from being able to have those goals, because if you don't have that why, you're not going to be driven there, okay? And you shouldn't be training. This comes down to why you shouldn't be training for race day, is because if you're just training for race day, okay, just training to rock up, you're not going to have the consistency. You're not going to get the results with your training. You're just going to do some of the work. You're going to not really get any results, okay, and then go, yeah, I tried that, it didn't really work, but you didn't have the why, okay? And this goes for same for people who lose weight, same for people who are gaining weight. Often they have the tools, or they know roughly what they need to be able to do, okay? It might not be the most efficient, but to get some sort of a result, but they struggle to implement it and do it. And number one, maybe they don't have the support structure, the mentors, the people to be able to help them through that process. But more importantly, they don't know why they're doing it, okay? A lot of people that try and lose weight don't know why they're trying to lose the weight. They just want to lose it, okay? But they don't know why. And you need to be able to dig. You need to be able to ask why. Sorry, got my headphones caught. 3 times, okay? So often you'll give yourself the superficial bullshit on the outside, okay, as to why you want to do something. But you need to be able to keep digging to be able to find the real answer. So I'll give you an example, okay? So for racing, for example, so you might ask, okay, why am I training? Okay, well, I want to be better at racing. Okay, well, what does that mean? Would you wake up in the morning just to be better at racing? Chances are probably not. Okay, then you go, why do you want to be better at racing? Okay, well, I want to be able to come top 5 in the state this year. Okay, so that's more specific. Why do you want to be able to come top 5 in the state this year? Well, I've been putting in all the hard work. I've got heaps of sponsors that are supporting me. I've got my parents that are supporting me. They put heaps of money into helping me. They help me travel. They put in all the work, and I want to be able to show them that it's all been worth it, okay? Maybe that's the end goal. Maybe it's to be able to get sponsorship and do it for a living. There's a whole heap of different stuff that drives you, and you need to be able to ask why 3 times. Simply just saying why once, okay, is not going to be deep enough. We need to find something that's deep, okay, right in here. That's really driving you forward, because once we tap into that, you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, and you're in alignment with that, then that's going to be able to help you, okay? That's going to be able to help pull you forward. It's going to help pull you out of bed in the morning. It's going to help you stay up late at night. It's going to help you commit to your training and continuously put the work in over the long term, because we don't want short-term results. We don't want to just be training. If you've got the Finke coming up, you've got a state round, okay, or the season's starting, you don't want to be starting your training a few weeks out just because, that you've got a little bit of motivation, or because you know you're going to look like a dickhead going out there and riding and not being able to put a couple of laps together. We want to make sure that you're consistent, okay? You can always put in the time in, and we need to be able to do that by finding a big enough why. So especially towards the end of the season, so for you guys that did the MX Nationals, that's all over now. And you have Supercross. If you're not doing Supercross, you've got about 6 months until the season starts again. Okay, and this is a time that you need to be finding that why. Why train now? Okay, you could leave it 3 months and still have a relatively good level of fitness, okay, if you start at the start of next year. But why should you be training now? Okay, why? What do you want next year? Where do you want to be next year? Why do you want to be there? And keep digging with that, okay? And the more digging you do, the more motivated you'll find that you become, because you know exactly what you're working towards. If you don't have that destination, you don't know what you're moving towards, okay? So that's it for today, guys. Relatively short and sweet live stream. Give me a thumbs up if you found this useful, or give me a like, or even leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions at all that you'd like me to answer in either of the following live streams. I've done a lot of talking today, so my voice is very, throat's getting a bit sore, and it's Monday already. We still got a shit ton of live streams to go. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And remember, train hard, race harder. See you guys.